It's time to start your day with the First Cup Morning Show.
Serving up a warm cup of good news, positivity, and uplifting messages.
And now, here's your host,
Our dad,
Joshua Kangley.
Hello, friends. Good morning, and welcome back on in to the First Cup Monday Morning Show. So glad to have you here today because this is where we kick off the week with some good news and some good vibes. I'm Joshua Kangley. Happy Monday to you, and thank you for joining me this morning. And as always, I do have some good news, and we will get to that in just a bit. But first, let's start it off with a quote. Lao Tzu once said, "The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step." After hearing those words from Lao Tzu, it really comes down to something simple, but very powerful. Big goals can feel overwhelming. Dreams can feel distant. The road ahead can look too long to even begin. But the truth is, none of it happens all at once. It all starts with one step, one decision, one action, one moment of courage. And here's the thing. You don't need to have everything figured out today. You just need to start. Because every great journey, every success story, every transformation began exactly the same way, with someone who decided to move forward. So whatever is on your heart, take that first step and trust that it is enough to begin. And now let's go to the Did You Know? Did you know that on this day, April 6th in 1924, a bold and daring mission began that would forever change aviation history? On April 6, 1924, the U.S. Army Air Service launched the very first attempt to fly around the entire world. At a time when airplanes were still relatively new and unproven, this was more than just a journey. It was a leap into the unknown. The mission set off from Seattle with 4 aircraft known as the Douglas World Cruisers. And here's the thing. These planes weren't equipped with modern navigation, GPS, or even reliable weather forecasting. The pilots had to rely on basic instruments, maps, and sheer courage as they crossed oceans, mountains, and continents. Along the way, they faced extreme weather, mechanical failures, and dangerous terrain. 2 of the 4 planes didn't make it, but the remaining crews pressed on, determined to finish what they started. After more than 5 months and over 27,000 miles, the mission returned triumphantly back to Seattle in September of that same year, marking the first successful flight around the globe. This historic achievement proved something the world had never fully seen before, that global air travel was not just a dream, it was possible. It paved the way for the modern aviation system we rely on today. Every international flight, every connection across continents traces its roots back to the courage of those early pioneers who refused to believe the world was too big to navigate by air. And it all started with 4 planes, a handful of fearless pilots, and a mission that changed the world forever. And if you didn't know that, now you know. Today, April 6th, is National Student Athlete Day. National Student Athlete Day, observed annually on April 6th, provides an opportunity to recognize the outstanding accomplishments of student athletes. In the U.S., nearly 8 million student athletes compete in team and individual sports. More than 500,000 will carry their career on to the college level. And not only do they succeed in athletic programs such as track and field, baseball, volleyball, and lacrosse, but they excel academically too. The day recognizes student athletes who have a positive impact on their communities while maintaining and earning GPAs of 3.0 or higher. Many student athletes take on roles as leaders in their community and serve as role models for others. So cheer them on, both on and off the field. Support them in their higher goals and aspirations. Happy National Student Athlete Day to all the student athletes out there. And now it's time for some animal fun facts.
Today's animal is reindeers. Did you know in most species of deer, only the male grows antlers, but in reindeer, many females do too. The females' antlers are smaller than the males, and they shed them at different times of year.
Did you know that reindeers' eyes change their color to blue in the winter season?
All right, let's get to the good news of the week. Brave boy brings Easter joy to young patients. In a powerful reminder of resilience and kindness, 12-year-old Nathan Ewell turned his own battle with non-Hodgkin lymphoma into an opportunity to uplift others. After being diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, Nathan has endured an intense journey of treatment. Now, with just a couple treatments remaining before doctors expect him to reach remission, he chose to focus not on himself, but on bringing joy to other children facing similar struggles. While receiving care at Providence Children's Hospital, Nathan came up with a heartfelt idea to make sure every child in the hospital could experience the simple happiness of Easter. With determination and a big heart, he launched a fundraiser, and the response was overwhelming. In just 24 hours, Nathan raised $2,000 thanks to generous support from his community. With those funds, he helped organize and deliver 124 beautifully assembled Easter baskets filled with treats and surprises. The baskets were shared with young patients at both Providence Children's Hospital and Alaska Native Medical Center, just in time for Good Friday. The hospital staff there described the moment as unforgettable, with carts typically used for deliveries overflowing with colorful baskets. For the children, spending their days undergoing treatment, the gesture brought a much-needed sense of normalcy and joy. Nathan's mother expressed both pride and amazement at her son's compassion and strength, noting how quickly the community rallied behind his vision. But for Nathan, the mission was simple: help other kids feel like kids, even in the middle of their very difficult circumstances. You know, after hearing a story like Nathan's, it's hard not to pause and reflect for a moment. I mean, here we have a young boy walking through one of the toughest battles life can throw at anyone, a fight against non-Hodgkin lymphoma. And yet, instead of turning inward, he chose to look outward. He chose to give. He chose to serve. He chose to lift others up. And that kind of perspective, when we think about this, it's powerful. It reminds us that strength isn't just about enduring hardship. It's about what we do in the middle of it. Nathan didn't wait until life got easier. He didn't say, I'll help others when I'm better. He acted right where he was, in the middle of his own storm. And maybe that's the lesson for us all this week. You know, we all face challenges in different ways. Maybe not in a hospital room, but in our daily lives. Stress, uncertainty, setbacks. And it's easy for us to get consumed by these things. But Nathan's story shows us that even in those moments, there is still room to do good. There is still room to bring light into someone else's life. And just think about what those Easter baskets meant to those kids. In a place where days can feel long and heavy, that simple act reminded them that they're not forgotten, that they're still kids, that joy is still possible. And that's what kindness does. It cuts through the darkness. So maybe the question we take with us today is this: what can we do right where we are, wherever we are? What can we do to make someone else's day a little brighter? Because you don't need perfect circumstances to make an impact. You just need a willing heart. And Nathan showed us exactly what that looks like. Well, friends, I really hope you enjoyed that good news. And for more good news, positivity, and uplifting messages, you can always go to guidinglights.org. That's www.guidinglights.org. Now, before we go, I'd like to leave you with a dad joke. Where do rabbits go after tying the knot? On a bunny moon. All right, well, that's going to wrap up this week's show. I hope it brought a little light into your life, a little smile on your face, ready for the week. And I challenge you to be the reason someone else smiles this week, and have a great week yourself. And please remember, don't let the mainstream media fool you, because there's always good news happening all the time.